This year's coverage of Computex 2019 is sponsored by Corsair and eBuyer. Check them out in the link below. Corsair brought out a chair. Cooler Master are bringing out a chair and a desk. We're here from Computex 2019 at the Cooler Master booth, and they have so much stuff. I think way more stuff than everybody else that's new coming out. I really like how they show off concepts before they're actually available, because it gives us a chance to actually see what they're doing almost behind the scenes. So let's start with this chair. They have two different types. We have a traditional gaming chair, if you want, well, a gaming chair. But this interests me a lot more, because the thing is, gaming chairs are actually not always that good for your back. There are some good ones out there, but realistically a lot of them actually lack a little bit of lumbar support. So when we sit down in this new Cooler Master prototype, which they say other colours may come, but at launch it's just going to be purple, you'll notice that you actually have a lot more push into your back from the lower sections. And I know a lot of people will be saying, well, can't you just get a lumbar cushion like we have on the other one? That actually doesn't really do all of that much. It can help, but sometimes you'll find that it's comfortable, other times you won't, and just generally speaking, it's not really an ideal situation. So I will hopefully be getting one of these in for review and giving you a little bit more on it. In terms of the Cooler Master desk, again, this is very much in that prototype stage. So some things are subject to change. We've got this long aluminium strip all the way down the front, Cooler Master logo, RGB underneath. But the thing that obviously really stands out about it is not only that it's big, there will be 3 sizes available, but is that it's a standing desk when you want it to be, a seating desk the rest of the time. It's electric, so you don't need to worry about adjusting it yourself. You can set different profiles, and then the desk will go up and down into your different positions. Pricing is a little bit unconfirmed at the moment, but I guess a lot of that is to do with the fact it is a prototype, so there are things that do need to change. But in terms of their main stuff, cases, cooling, peripherals, this is the thing that really caught my eye the most. So it's a mini ITX case. It's not going to fit a huge amount of hardware, but it should be substantial enough for most people. If you do want to put like a Strix 2080 Ti or something in here, obviously it's not going to fit. I am a little bit disappointed that it's not a little bit longer, because I don't think that really would have compromised its usability, but it does mean that full-size Founders Edition cards won't fit, whereas I think maybe they could have adjusted it a little bit so that they would, but I guess that's an argument that we'll have to have down in the comment section. But it's a really nice looking case, and ultimately the main feature of it is this large 200mm fan on the front, and they are also going to be selling a radiator that will attach to that fan, so you can get fantastic cooling for your CPU or GPU if you wanted to go down that way, without really having too much compromise in the way of space. It's a really nice little feature. If you are interested in a bigger enclosure though, there is actually a new Silencio case coming out very, very shortly. And the clever thing with this is that it's going to go for the more acoustic, isolating effects, where you have foam on all of the different side panels. They've made the tempered glass panel that little bit thicker, and it means that if you want a silent PC but you also want it to look good, you can have that. But also it does come with a solid panel in the box as well, so maybe you could flick between the two, see what works best for you, or maybe you want to start with noisy low-end hardware and work your way up to something a little bit more fancy. This case will accommodate that. As you'd expect from a cooling company, they do actually have additional coolers available. We've got more water coolers, we've got more air coolers, quite a lot of different stuff on show. A lot of it will be coming out later this year, some of it is still prototypes. Cooler Master are trying to get into the gaming mouse game and make the lightest mouse possible. And the thing is with this, you're going to end up with something that's just not really that practical. Everyone always says to me in the comments section, are we after the lightest mice possible? And they say that they want something that's way under 100 grams. This one is very much in this camp. This is around about 55 grams. You can see there's very little to the frame whatsoever. And the effect is that when you're moving your hand, it's almost like you're not really holding anything at all. I don't find it that comfortable, personally. I think it feels a little bit weird. It is still a little bit in the prototypey stage, but a lot of people are going to want this. They're aiming it for more esports professionals, anyone that really just wants the absolute lightest mouse possible. And they've said that they're going to get around the obvious problems with things like dirt and grime actually gumming up the works by using a coating on the PCB well, they say it's going to stop it. Whether it will, they've done a lot of testing behind the scenes, but in real world use, I guess we'll have to wait until it actually gets in the hands of the consumers. But it's an interesting thing. Of all the products that they've got on here, it's definitely one that caught my attention more than most. But what do you guys think about all of this stuff here from Cooler Master? Do you think that they should be making chairs, desks, or do you think they should stick to what they know? Let me know down in that comment section below. I will be getting the desk and the chair when it's available, hopefully later in the year. So stay tuned if you do actually want to see full reviews of those. Don't forget to check out the rest of our Computex 2019 coverage. And of course, a massive thank you to our sponsors, eBuyer and Corsair, for bringing us out here. If you want to check out the new Hydro X range and maybe buy it, you can do that through Corsair and eBuyer. Thank you guys, I'll see you in the next one.